Whew. Okay. We are live, finally. All right. So Gary's going to be running the laptop for me tonight and putting links and whatever else comes up. We need to get you a camera at some point. Um, yeah, whatever else comes up into chat. But I guess I will. Kyle's here. Hi. We're doing something different tonight. All right. So we bought a wheel. We're starting another channel called Throw with SDMs. But while we're waiting for us to be able to go live there, I'm going to do it on here. So I've worked with the wheel a little bit so far, as you can see. It's nice and messy. And these are two pieces that I've started and I haven't been able to finish yet, so I figured I would finish them on stream. You can see that I've finished the bottom. It's all nice and sanded down and whatnot, and now I just need to do the top. So I'm going to start with that. I'm good. I'm excited to finally be doing this online. We're gonna see how it goes. Wheeling, dealing, wheeling and GMing. Yes. It's just my life now. I love it. So I have Gary sitting here with me today. And, who knows where the conversation will go, but since he pretty much only talks about gaming, it's probably going to head in that direction. Because, it's what we do.
Yeah, most likely DC-20. So if you have any DC-20 topics, Kyle, I would be happy to talk about them while Allie is throwing.
And I promise I'll get into actual throwing too. I just wanted to get this done as well, and I should be doing this better on camera, but we'll figure it out. Come the new year, I will have additional cameras, and I will have a legitimate place to throw instead of kind of crammed into my pouring area. The whole garage is a mess right now because we are getting ready for our mall show. Which we only have a couple more weeks for, and we still haven't even ordered our ornaments yet. That is a next week problem, or this week problem, I guess, technically. We have about 1,700 styles. Is the stream dead?
Oh.
Just put the Halloween thread.
Damned one shot, but no, you're still.
I'm still going?
Yeah.
Is that on Twitch or is that on
YouTube?
It's on YouTube? Okay.
But
Kyle, can you still see us?
I think I'm the only one there currently. Because I'm there and it says one person.
Okay.
Video cut out.
The video cut out. No. Face blue covering eyes. Cool. Awesome. Can you at least see my piece? That's really the important part. Okay. Let's see. Let's see if that fixes it. Maybe? Let's find out. Did that fix it? Video cut out for me. Oh, that's face blue covering eyes is not, in fact, my face blue, and something is covering my eyes. It is an emoji of some description that isn't showing up in chat for me. All right, Gary, are you still having you're still fine?
Yeah. I'm just sharing it out to.
Okay. Can you post to Kyle and ask him to refresh if he can?
Uh,
We're gonna try to do this left-handed. That's not so bad left-handed. Okay. Hopefully. We are sort of far away from the router, but I did keep all the doors open so that I would have
I
good.
closed the door.
Ooh. So we're just gonna blame Gary for any technical difficulties this evening because he's running the computer and he's in charge. I'm just here to throw. But I do have to say, the one thing that I did want to get back to was Incarnate. I do miss doing that too. I like my creative outlets, I guess. Which I think is why I love running so much. And now that you're running combat for me, it's rather nice. Because I think we're both doing the stuff that we like to do.
Yeah, for sure.
When we run games. Yay, Kyle's back! But yeah, I think we're definitely actually like with me running the creative stuff and you doing the combat, I think we're both doing exactly what we enjoy about DMing so much. So it's been working rather well. Don't lift that up because nobody can see what you're doing, Allie. I'll get used to being on camera at some point.
Me and I can also like change your camera, but the YouTube is coming up D&D 2024.
Oh no! Fix it! Fix it!
I
Fix
don't
it!
know how to fix it.
Go to scroll down on this page. Update titles.
Where is it? Update.
To the right of where, yep, right there. Update titles. We use Restream because I'm going to both Twitch and YouTube.
What do you want it to be? Throw with us?
Yeah. Throwing pottery. Waiting for us to get the okay from YouTube that we're allowed to do this on the new channel. But yeah, throw with us DMs on both Twitch and YouTube. Come follow me. If Gary could throw up the link, that would be awesome. So yeah, throw with us. Nope, throw with us DMs.
DMs?
Yep, throw with us DMs. Okay. So those will go in the kiln and they'll get bisked to just over 1800 degrees. So they won't be as fragile.
Hard. Yes.
So these fire to, this clay specifically fires to an 06 cone.
I changed it to art.
Cool. He looks forward to more Incarnate streams. I know. Oh, yeah. That I haven't. And learning stuff you did. Wouldn't mind helping with tips and learning stuff you did that I haven't. Oh, yeah. Incarnate is just, it's absolutely incredible. Are you posting it out to
Yeah, phone too.
to Discord? I just hear bloop bloop.
Phone, Discord, Facebook, Truth Social.
Oh man, I'm gonna be everywhere tonight. Yeah, I was really having fun with the Incarnate, and I really need to I need to go back to that. I was just so excited to get my wheel. I wasn't supposed to get this till January. And we have you looked into Dungeon? Is Dungeon Draft the one that is affiliated with Roll20? If so, I feel like I looked at it for like a split second, and then I don't know why I didn't continue. I probably was either going into a game or something. I don't feel like I had an opinion on it. Just beat up the wheel. Okay. So my wheel has both a foot pedal and a hand thing. I have a Shimpo RK Whisper. Many people recommended this wheel to me. It's supposed to be extremely quiet, so hopefully you can't hear it on stream. But I am new to throwing, so don't expect anything perfect. And you know, I may screw this up at some point, because yeah, I'm new to this. But yeah, so I'm centering right now. Can't really do much until your piece is centered. Gary, what do you want me to make tonight?
A dice cup.
Ooh. What kind of dice cup do you want? Do you want like the standard Yahtzee, like straight sided? All right.
I think so.
I feel like, well, we're just gonna switch this off for a second because I need far less clay for that. Uh-oh. Okay. Oh, how's my lighting? My lighting's good. Okay. All right. We'll just get this second bat. I just bought some more bats off of Amazon. I don't really know if I need this. We're gonna try to throw without it. See what happens. Worst case scenario, my bat comes flying off, it breaks the camera. You know, everything is awful. But probably not. Oh, I could make a. Kyle suggested a dice tray. I could make a dice cup and a dice tray. I could do that. All right. That other larger bit of clay I can make a dice tray out of.
Yeah, that's.
I just can't roll my metal dice in it.
That's a good idea.
This clay is harder than the other clay was. How's our voices? Because we're not wearing headsets today. We're just kind of talking at the camera.
Maybe echoey in here.
Maybe. I turned on the good noise suppression. So I'm hoping not. So as you throw, you have to keep wetting your hands. As soon as you feel resistance in the clay. But the problem with this is, if you get the clay too wet.
Voice is great now, echo.
Yay! If you get the clay too wet, then it wibbly wobblies and it loses all of its structure.
I know who I should send this to.
What?
I know who I should send this to.
Who should you send this to?
Melanie. She'll get all her friends on it.
Could you actually send it to Jessie? Because she actually wanted to watch. Voice is great, no echo. Woohoo! Okay. So now that I have it centered, we're going to stick our thumb right into the inside there. Go right down to almost the bottom. And then we're going to pull out to make a bigger hole.
Oh, that's right, though. Yeah, there's a delay between what's on camera and the voice, and just in that the video is back from where you are currently. But the sound also is linked with it. It's just, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't usually sit in the same spot that I'm watching this.
Okay.
So I kicked the camera.
Don't kick the camera.
Oh, no. It's very cramped.
It is very cramped in here. So there's something called, it has a really cool name. It's called Glorm. And I'm just gonna do a so I can feel that there's a ton of air bubbles in this. So we are going to try to shape this closed a little bit. And then I'm going to get my hole poker. And we're going to go exploring for air bubbles.
And the interesting thing that I learned is it will explode in the kiln if it's not air bubbles are in there.
We don't want that. So my sister-in-law, Gary's sister, is a funeral director. And we found out that our kiln gets hotter than a crematorium. Which I thought was fascinating. Maybe I got out those air bubbles.
Blurb sounds like something from DC-20 games.
One of my friends is hoping that I make an NPC by the name of Glorm.
Send that to Jesse.
Yes, please do. So the higher the Glorm percentage in your clay, the more sturdy your clay is. So if you want to throw things like big bowls, you need a very high Glorm percentage. Otherwise, it will get all wibbly wobbly and it won't work. So I think that's wide enough, hun, but it's definitely too thick. I think I'm going to need to top this and get a smaller piece. Right in the bucket. A Glorm Terraborn. What is a Terraborn? I feel like that's like Ivy. Is that like a plant creature?
That's what you would think, but no, they're the corrupted dwarves. So they're like stone people.
Okay. Ooh, that takes us into like hand building. Okay, so that went out a little bit, so I need to bring this back in. So I've only taken one class on throwing, ever. The woman was absolutely phenomenal. And I'm left-handed, but I don't typically do things left-handed. So when I started throwing, I didn't really think about it, and I just did it right-handed. And she's just like, why are you doing this backwards? And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, you're putting your hands on the wrong side. You're pulling from the wrong side. I'm like, I don't know. She's like, are you left-handed? I'm like, well, sort of, but not really. Um, so some wheels, you can reverse which way the wheel head goes. So I throw lefty.
Yeah, she's ambidextrous.
I am. Like knitting, crocheting, golf, baseball, all of that, I do righty. Shooting a gun, all of it's righty. I write with my left hand normally, and I normally eat with my left hand unless I'm doing something and eating at the same time, and then I'll eat with my right hand and I'll write with my left hand. So what I'm doing right now is I'm pulling this taller, and I have my I have my right hand slightly lower than my left hand. And I'm pinching my fingers together and slowly bringing the clay up. I want to get that mistake out of there, and I'm actually wondering if this is too tall for a dice cup anyway. I feel like I need to cut off the top again.
Yeah.
Okay.
Off with his head.
Off with its head! Okay. Thinking right about there.
Do you have this going to roll with this twitch, or did you start a throw with this twitch?
I started a throw with this twitch, but I couldn't go live with the new YouTube one.
Because you don't have enough subscribers.
I had to wait 24 or 48 hours from when I requested to go live.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I think it was 24 hours since I requested to go live. But we'll put out those. I mean, Twitch is easy. It's just twitch.tv/throw with us DMs. YouTube is more complicated. And next year we're going to have a camera from above.
Brian's watching.
Brian, your brother?
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Hey, Brian.
At least I think so. He just texted me and said that he sees. And there's a third person now.
Very cool. So sometimes my pieces get so wet because I'm definitely so new at this that, like, I don't always do things correctly. Is that a good size for a dice cup?
Yeah, probably.
Cool.
Will it fit 8d6?
It will most definitely fit 8d6.
Then we can cast Fireball, and that's the important thing.
And really, I need something to cast Fireball on this thing so that I can dry it out.
Yeah, you could paint it red and it can be the Fireball cup.
Oh, good point. Gary.
Yeah.
Shoot, I have the pieces. I can't grab them. I'm going to need you to reach over my camera at some point here. Or can I have 2 paper towels? Guys, this piece here. What color should it be? What should I do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. It's going to be a pot that's going to have ivy in it. We're going to sell it at the mall this year. But what color should I paint it?
Green and blue.
Green and blue. Okay.
Like your cup color.
Like my cup. So
That would be pretty with ivy.
It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Did you look into the new DC20 magazine volume 4 challenges? It dripped today.
Dropped. Yeah, actually, right before Ali set this up, I was putting it in sleeves. I have them printed and compiled into plastic sleeves in a folder. I love skill challenges, so there wasn't too much new for me in there, but seeing it all in one place was nice. My thoughts overall, I still disagree with giving disadvantage on somebody doing the same check as another player. Because if narratively it makes sense, I think they should be able to do the same check without imposing disadvantage. I also don't like that in the codified rules he removed the option for players to help. Narratively, they can narrate that they help, but Kyle also says green.
What kind of green? Are we looking for like a hunter green? Are we looking for a lime green? Are we looking for a seafoam green?
Hey, we got 5 people watching now. So yeah, leave that the color green that you want in the chat. But narratively now by the DC20 magazine, you can help, but it's only narrative, and the person still makes their own check. And I don't like it. I don't like it. Because I think it was good the way that it was before, where if you wanted to help, then you had to be trained in the skill that you were helping in, and then you added a D8 help die. And then, though your fate was tied to that, the person that you were helping's fate. If they failed, then you failed. So it wasn't always advantageous to help.
Which I really like over, say, D&D, where if you help, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, see, I do agree with the goal of trying to get players engaged in the session and not just all brainlessly doing the same thing. But I mean, if you're trying to do something that clearly requires athletics, then I can't see giving people disadvantage when that darker green, he says.
Cool.
A dark green, that way when you plant, it makes a nice contrast.
Nice. Okay. So like a forest green. Love it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Now, do we want the interior the same color? Or do we want... All right. So we're going to let this dry a little bit. And we're going to come back to this after I throw the dice tray. Oh, that came out so nice.
Huh, nice.
Yeah, I'm not using that blue thing anymore.
The biggest thing though to me is like taking away the ability to help. And I guess that like narratively it can be boring in that uh, rather than making your own check or coming up with something cool that you're just helping. But on the other hand, I think that mechanically it was cool, and I can't say that it was more powerful because really you still need a number of success points equal to the number of players usually. So you're hedging your bets that your D8 helps to gain an additional success.
10 to 4, Allie.
10 for Ellie, you're good. Yeah. He's
Oh.
saying, yeah, exactly what you said. You're correct. Um, so I think I'll probably still allow people to take the help action for the skill challenges, and then they tie their fate to the person uh, who makes the check, whoever you're helping.
Okay.
If they fail, you fail. And
I wish I knew which way I should be moving on this camera to be in frame. Otherwise, I should just put you on the camera. All right, so what I'm doing here is I'm making a dice tray.
I thought everything else in the DC 20 magazine was good. Especially nice having examples of the three different types of skill challenges: one combat, one exploration, and one social. But truthfully, I think if you ran or played the hunted, there wasn't too much new, especially if you ran the hunted. Because there's the two skill challenges in there, and I thought that the rules in the hunted were pretty good for how to do a skill challenge. But I do feel like skill challenges are something that are overlooked by people just starting to run DC 20. If you haven't run the hunted, um, you may not realize the importance of skill challenges in the game.
I agree.
And I think it's because other systems don't prioritize skill challenges the way that DC 20 does.
Well, and I think they're much different in DC 20 than I do in um, uh, like say Pathfinder. Um, I feel like they're very rigid in Pathfinder.
Yeah, yeah. It's very much in Pathfinder. It's here's like two or three skills that you can use,
Oh,
but
that was a
you don't have any options really,
large
and
bubble.
everybody makes their own checks, and then the checks aren't really connected to each other in any meaningful way.
Mm-mm.
Where DC 20 uses skill challenges to narratively tell a story without getting into the minutia of like combat and other mechanics. Um, so the way I read it, but I could reread it, is that you don't add a D8 help die anymore when you help. Like if a player wants to help, they still make their own check. Um, so narratively, they're helping, but mechanically, they're not just adding a D8 and tying their fate to somebody else. I mean, obviously, on a D8, you can't even get a success. Your goal is to push somebody one success higher at least. Um, and I kind of like that. One of my favorite skill challenges that I ran was actually in Lost Mines of Phandelver. The party attempted to intimidate a bunch of goblins, and one person made an intimidation check and everybody helped, but they needed a number of success points equal to the number of players, so they needed 4 successes. And clearly, one person, the person making the check, wasn't going to get all of the successes on their own. The DC for it, I think I set it at 14 because it was like you were trying to intimidate a group of goblins, so it wasn't going to be easy. And the failure for it was that they were going to end up in combat. Success, you know, they actually intimidate the goblins. You could say that it was boring that only one person made a check, but I think everybody hung on every one of those d8s as they rolled because um, they were impactful to the end result, and they actually gathered enough success points to succeed. I think it was success at 14, then another one at 19, 24, uh, 29. You needed 29, and I think you got like 32 or something.
Okay, I'm going to interrupt you for a second.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like an inch and a half rim to maybe 2 inches.
Yeah.
Okay.
I felt that it was more just a slight explainer to make good with the patrons while focusing, which I'm okay with as long as the magazines can afford extra content. Yeah, and I think for anyone who has not run the hunted, having that info somewhere else is good because I mean, when it comes to official content, the only official adventure for DC 20 currently is the hunted, um, and the rules so far, the alpha and the beta, don't really talk about skill challenges at all. So the only place that they're present is in the hunted or in YouTube videos. So this puts it somewhere else, and it really dials into them and focuses on them more than the hunted just kind of details briefly how to run them. I loved them, so I jumped like headfirst into them, and I use them everywhere that I possibly can. Um, on my Monday night game, the players were going into. You have a comment. Go 2 inches, always better, higher when it comes to bouncy dice.
Um, Something that you don't know about Gary because, well, you don't play with him in person. He loves to throw dice across the table, obviously without meaning to.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I need a box to throw into. So in my Monday night game, the players were going into a goblin cave, and they had a trap in the entrance, and it was hot oil. They had like murder holes in the ceiling and hot oil falling from the ceiling. So um, the I had to make a fate roll first because fate rolls are another really cool feature of DC 20 that I haven't really seen in other systems. And the player who got the lowest fate roll is the one that had hot oil fall on them first. So they took 1 point of it was probably fire damage
yeah.
from the oil. And then you realize that more hot oil is about to rain down on you. You have seconds to react. What do you do? And I feel like that builds just a very tense, what do we do? I think the players, two of them used athletics to rush forward, and that's one of those situations where, like, I can't see penalizing somebody if they think that their best course of action is to use athletics to run, that I can't see penalizing somebody for wanting to use athletics. One of the PCs wanted to use their shield to attempt to, like, hold it over their head to protect them and any other allies that they could. So I think for that I had them either make an attack check or a martial check, and then one of the PCs wanted to Misty Step out of the way, so I had them make a spell check. But skill checks, the skill challenges, and that's the thing. Skill challenges versus skill checks are they're incredible.
Okay, so this has gotten floppy because I put too much water in it.
You need another fireball.
Need another fireball. In all honesty, they make like heat guns. Obviously, they make heat guns. That was a stupid statement. A lot of people that I see throw use heat guns while they're throwing to get rid of some of the moisture. And that may be something that I get eventually. Or I'll just get better at this and I won't use as much water. We'll see. Everything is a test right now for next year.
So, the thing that I would like to see, Kyle, is what was it?
I don't know.
Shoot.
What was it?
Skill challenges, fate rolls. Crap.
He loves fate rolls too.
Yeah.
I mean, I love the randomness of fate rolls.
Shoot. I can't. When I remember it, I'll have to tell you. But there was something for DC 20 magazine, and I can't remember. I mean, other games do use a fate type system where, like, everybody rolls a die for a random result, and that result usually dictates like who bad stuff happens to. But it's not codified as like a flat D20 roll or like
Yeah, I've always done like evens and odds or a D6 if we have 6 players or whatever.
Uh, so I did finish a Halloween one shot that I put together. That's up on Start Playing currently. I'm probably going to. I'm running it at least once. I may try to put it together to run it in conjunction with some other DC 20 YouTubers. Not 100% on that yet. But I do need to do something for reaching 250 subs anyway. So.
Well, we're still waiting to continue that other game.
The Pathfinder Beginner Box?
Yeah. But in DC 20.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's just clean this up a little bit.
I can't believe I lost what I was going to say about the DC 20 magazine.
Okay. Yep, definitely done.
When am I running it? Next Friday is when the first. Next Friday, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, okay. Just wanted to test my bottom.
And then I'm trying to figure out because I actually put like 5 hours, like not only just coming up with the maps and the story and all that, but I also spent like 5 hours compiling it into a pretty detailed package. So currently, I have it on our Patreon, offered to our patrons of D6 tier and higher. I'm trying to figure out if I want to sell it, if I want to. I'm not sure. Am I live streaming it? Not the one for start playing, but I'm thinking about running it for a live stream. But it's really cool because I feel like it encompasses everything that makes DC-20 special. There's fate rolls, there's a combat skill challenge, there's a uh, a social skill challenge, there's a couple combats, there's even a possible branching path thanks to my test players. They threw me a little bit as players do sometimes, and decided to go off rails. So I had to put in a branching path should other people decide to do it. But the end result is pretty similar. You still get a combat skill challenge, and you still get a fate roll. So you don't really miss anything either way you go about it. It's novice level. Essentially, you are working on a farm. You can either be like family members, like kids of the farmer, or you could just be a farmhand.
I was a cat.
Allie was a field cat using Beastborn.
I was
And
just catching mice, man.
now those mice got you too.
They did get me. Those giant rats were mean. They
But,
got me back for all of the cousins I ate.
yeah. Um,
All right, I think that's your dice cup.
cool. It looks good. Mama Farmer gets kidnapped, and you have to go save her.
Okay. So I have this nifty little wire that I run along the bottom. Boop. Hopefully this will be dry and I can reuse this bat tonight. But for the moment, can you go put that somewhere that I won't knock it over? All right, so far we have this one here. And the more I handle this thing, the more I feel like I'm going to break it. This one here is going to be forest green. Am I in shot? Forest green. Do we want the inside forest green as well? Or do we want the inside to be a different color? We could go with a different color green. We could go with black. We could go with lime green. We could go with a cream color. All different, you know. What are we doing on the inside? Gary, can I have that bat right there? The one that I asked you to hold for me?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh. So Gary is planning on being amazing and lifting this wheel so that I can sit in a normal chair when I do it instead of one that's pretty much on the ground. So I'm very excited for that. We have a bunch of cinder blocks in here and he's going to swap it out for me. So this is, normally I like to trim at leather hard. But this one got harder than I wanted it to. So we're going to see if we can bring it back.
Brown inside, maybe like a light brown.
Light brown on the inside, forest green on the outside. Cool. We have like the milk chocolates and I don't know, the other cocoa one that we have. Um, all right, you know what? I'm just gonna let you get nice and wet in there. Um, oh, you are no longer attached.
So, Kyle, the thing that I loved the most with the DC-20 magazine #4 was the codification of like what DCs to use and how many success points needed. Um, Success points being easy, one less than the number of PCs, medium, the number of PCs, or hard, the number of PCs plus one. And then for setting the DC, I believe it was, I don't remember, I think it might have been two less than their save DC for easy, one minus their save DC for medium, and equal to their save DC for hard.
You
So,
need to plug in the laptop.
yeah. Uh, I don't know. I thought you had. Uh,
I didn't bring the cable down.
uh, okay. Uh, yeah, because that was the only thing that was really missing from the hunted was how to set them. And I've usually used them as them or the encounter DC as the threshold. Um, Allie, the only thing that I can think to do is get the cord
Okay.
and plug it into the power cord that the extension cord for the reflow.
Perfect.
And Kyle, the level for the Halloween one shot is novice level. I did discover something interesting running the test, and that people who have played DC-20, I think, appreciate novice level more than people who haven't, and it's because they're stripped of their class features and stuff. So they are maybe too simplistic, but I think that people who appreciate DC-20 already can appreciate the lower level. And Allie had thoughts, which I can let you talk about while I go get the.
Um, I just think that the
Oh, I'm sorry. I remember now. The thing that I would love to see in a DC-20 magazine is a DM screen. Forget the entire issue. Just give me a DM screen.
um so I went on Amazon and I actually bought um a make your own DM screen that I can just put pages into dependent upon what game I'm running. And I bought it because of Alien. I wanted a I wanted something that I could just I love that you start all of your players off at novice. That is amazing. Um I'm a big proponent of backstories of like what were you? Like before you became an adventurer, like what were you doing? Why are you adventuring? Do you have people back home? Um right now I'm just trying to soften up this piece so that I can get it kind of back into the round again. Again, I might have to scrap this piece eventually, but I was kind of curious if I'd be able to bring it back. Because, again, it got way too wet, so it was wibbly when I was working on it. And I find it interesting because I didn't really find like the D&D DM screen all that incredibly helpful. Um, and now that I've been running so much online, I don't really use a DM screen in person all that much. Because I was never a DM that would fake my roles anyway. So I really had no reason to hide the roles behind the DM screen. The only thing that I was really hiding was my notes. But now well, this one's gonna get junked. So I made the bottom a little too soft and I broke it. Broke it, done, gone, bloop. Okay. Gary calls that my fuck it bucket. Cause that's where all the things go that we can't use. We have one for our trees as well. Actually, we have two for the trees. And technically, I guess I have three for this. I have them because we reclaim all of our clay. So, I have three in different stages. This one was mostly water when I started tonight. A little bit of clay at the bottom. And then I also have one that I think I'll wedge. Maybe I'll wedge it on camera tonight. Or I won't wedge it because I can't wedge it. But I'll spread it out to dry overnight. Cool. Okay. That one went in the fuck it bucket.
Oh.
All right. Honestly, I think my biggest thing with the DM screen that I like to have available for myself is NPCs. And not really NPCs, more along the lines of
Oh, that's right.
names.
Kyle's got that really cool um, sandbox world.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so my one friend though that I was really hoping that he would like another Legion of the Fuck It Bucket. One of my friends that I was really hoping would like DC-20, I think got frustrated with the novice level play because, well, for one, he was accustomed to obviously rolling dice for damage, and he said that he didn't really like not rolling damage dice. I mean, I find it fun counting out how much extra damage the attacks do, but he also, I think, was surprised to hear that, like, an unarmed strike, a punch did 0 damage. So, not being a monk, but then he wanted his character to be a monk, but because, it's novice level, it wasn't a monk yet, so it didn't have the 1 damage and impact on the strikes.
And I was going with monk for my character as well because I didn't realize that we were starting off at novice level. But I had a great time with my field cat.
Yeah. Well, and it was your first experience playing a martial character in DC 20,
That's true.
which, the question is, like, are you better off making multiple attacks, or are you better off making one good attack?
I think it depends on
Um,
the circumstances. I really want to kill something. I'm gonna make one really good attack.
mhm. Yeah, the 5e mindset, though, is I need to attack as many times as possible.
Um,
Or I need advantage on everything, which isn't always true either.
yeah.
Um,
So I think I'm gonna do something like wavy.
okay.
I don't know. What do you think?
Like a chip bowl? Or is that not big enough?
You want a chip bowl?
I mean, you could do a dip bowl.
You want a dip bowl? All right.
Whatever you think, because a chip bowl would be bigger, but if you think a dip bowl would be better out of that, then I think a dip
Um,
bowl would be
so
cool.
the problem with the big stuff is that this clay doesn't have any glorm in it. And I talked
No
about it.
glorm.
No glorm. I talked about it a little bit earlier on stream today, but not really. Um,
It's a bad Terraborn. No glorm.
and um, I lost my train of thought.
Another player made an ethereal jellyfish creature. So that was their character, was a jellyfish. Um, I question that because one of my players actually built Ursula from Little Mermaid, Beastborn, and took like secondary arms and prehensile appendage to like kind of make up the extra arms of the octopus.
Okay, we're going a little fast. A little fast. Centering is fast.
Beastborn
Curling is mid speed.
is really cool, and it's so flexible in that like Ali actually was able to make a Leshy character modeled after the Pathfinder Leshies.
Yeah, so I'm playing. Its name is Ivy, and that's not gonna work. Bloop 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 bloop. Um, I'm playing. I'm playing Poison Ivy. I've made my skin poisonous, so if I grapple things, they take poison damage at the beginning of their turn.
I'm sorry that it didn't work, but the first creature that you grappled was a zombie that's immune to poison.
I mean, fair.
Actually, you let it grapple you,
I did let it grapple
and
me.
then it promptly omnommed you.
It did on me. I can actually wedge this. This doesn't actually have to go in the pocket bucket. Oh, I am so looking forward to you lifting this wheel for me.
Yeah. How long do you think you're throwing till 9?
I don't know. I have
Like-
two more. I have two more blobs left.
8:15.
I don't know. I have two more blobs left, and I have the dice thing to cut down. The dice tray.
Nope. Jellyfish, small creature, more non.
Yeah. Give me ball.
She's also Circle of Spores Druid because I've made custom subclasses for everyone based on 5e subclasses. They are more powerful than the ones that are going to be in the official game, though, I think. Actually, I don't even have to say I think. I know they are because it sounds like at 3rd level the subclasses are going to have one mechanical feature and one flavor feature. and I tried to figure out how I would scrunch all of the D&D subclass levels into 3 DC 20 levels. In some cases, I think that the features could have just been um, bunched up more. Instead of, I tried to give them all three features, but that was also based on what I had seen with the other levels, where you got 2 features and a flavor feature at level 1, and then a level 2. I mean, up until 09, you were getting 2 class features and a talent at level 2. So that power budget kind of, I thought it would be higher. It's actually good that he's dialing it back, but for any established games that I have, I can't take people's features from them, so I just leave it as is. I am hoping, um, well, for my one game that I'm running on the side, I'm actually not even leveling them to 2 until January, so that I'll have 09.
I totally didn't just splash water everywhere. Totally didn't do that. Okay. I was also thinking that, I mean, everybody throws like this, so obviously it's the correct way to throw. But I was thinking that if I threw from the side of this thing, I could reach my bucket easier. Because some people do have like their buckets on their side. I don't know. Just a thought. I could also put it on the table. That would make sense. What am I doing? Chip bowl.
Yeah, I mean, that was my
Okay.
suggestion. Yeah, so Kyle, like my take on it has been, I will not convert anything to DC 20 unless I need it, because eventually it's going to be irrelevant. So I did not transition all 5e subclasses to DC 20. Um, when I The first campaign that I ran for DC 20 was Lost Mines of Fandover that I had converted to DC 20, and I knew I wanted to keep the same level progression from the 5th edition module. So I just kept the monsters worth the same amount of XP as in 5e and level the players at the same rate that they would if they were playing it in 5th edition. So it's cool in that I don't really have to think about how much XP to give for things or when they should level. I think in general it's worked out. I don't feel like the players have been too overpowered for the things that they've been fighting. Um, in fact, we left off with the players in a pretty precarious situation with a band of hobgoblins in the woods, but and they're level 3 currently. But I also knew that subclasses would not be out by the time my players reached level 3. So I asked them what 5th edition subclass they would like their subclass for DC 20 based on. So one of the players wanted a Mercy Monk. So that was the first one that I worked on, and I tried to encapsulate the feel of like a Mercy Monk and what they do. But I needed it to work within DC 20's framework, and one of the biggest things was the Mercy Monk can heal, I think, near an infinite amount as long as they have ki, and DC 20 monks have a near infinite amount of ki, especially out of combat. So I made their ability just give temporary hit points instead of actual hit points. But I did give him a way that when he uses healing, whether it's magical or mundane, he could channel his ki into the healing and provide +1 healing. Um, so it captures the feel, but it works in DC 20. Hand of Harm was easy. Just deal an extra umbral damage when you hit, if you spend the key on it. Um, there was a little bit more to that. One of the players wanted a Forge Cleric, so I built, tried to compile the feel of the Forge Domain into something that would work in DC 20. Somebody wanted a Wildfire Druid, so I'm really actually proud of that one, because the Wildfire Spirit it's a tough thing to balance and to get it to feel right in DC 20. But what I came up with is in fifth edition you use a charge of your Wild Shape. You don't have Wild Shape charges in DC 20, so they just spend mana on it. For 1 mana, they can summon the spirit. It has really low hit points and stuff, but they can spend more mana up to their mana spend limit to kind of like how you would summon a familiar and it has more traits, or you would wild shape and have more abilities. The more mana that they spend, the better the Wildfire Druid is, the stronger. So he has a flexibility with it. One thing I don't like with the 5th edition Wildfire Spirit is that it only lasts for an hour. And I get it that, like, in combat it's strong, but I feel like a Wildfire Druid wants their Wildfire Spirit as a companion that's, like, with them. And I think it feels bad that the spirit's not always there. So I have the spirit stay not for an hour, but either until the end of a long rest, when it could be resummoned the next day, or if it dies. Uh, I don't know. You need to feel like I'm taking over your stream here, but
Dude, we are called Throw With Us DMs. We talk about gaming stuff.
so. The other thing with the Wildfire Spirit was how to balance its action economy. But DC 20 has a cool thing with the shared initiative, so I have it act on the Druid's turn on a shared initiative. I think I gave it too many actions, to be honest. I think it probably should have only had one action point on its turn. I gave it two. Somebody
I want
else.
that back soon, but
Huh?
I said I'm going to want that back
Okay.
eventually.
Somebody else that I know liked my Wildfire Druid idea, and they gave it 0 actions actually, and then the only way that it gets actions is if if the Druid takes this action that I had designated, which is Boost Spirit, and it gives for one of the Druid's action points, it gives the Wildfire Spirit 2 action points, and they can only take that action once per turn. But in 5th edition, the Wildfire Spirit can move, it can dodge, even if you don't give it a command as a bonus action, it can still move and dodge. So I wanted to capture the feel that it could still do that by giving it 2 action points, but maybe I should have only given it one. And then in 5th edition, if you spend the bonus action, then it can throw the Flame Seed or Fiery Teleport. But I think I balanced it because the Fiery Teleport and the Flame Seed are both spell checks. So if it tries to do both in the same turn, it incurs disadvantage on the second attempt. And if it tries to Fiery Teleport twice, that second one is at disadvantage. So I think it balanced. I haven't seen any issue with it having 2 action points, to be honest. Um, Then in one of my other games, my other player, he didn't really give me a subclass that he wanted. He wanted to be able to cook the things that he killed. Like if they were out in the woods and they were fighting monsters, he wanted to be able to cook the things. So that to me, and he was already a ranger, so that told me hunter ranger. So I looked at that for inspiration, and I put together a cooking mini game for him because that's what he wanted, and I also kind of compiled the benefits from the hunter ranger into one package. That makes him a little bit more flexible in combat. So that was the hunter ranger. In the current game, or in another game,
I feel like I should have made this a little bit wider. I feel like that's a very narrow dice cup.
that's not the. Is that the dice cup?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I feel like I should have made this wider.
Yeah.
Agreed? Okay.
Agreed.
Let's make it wider.
Um, one. Well, first, I'm hoping that 0.9 comes out before they reach level 3. Sorry to any players that are listening to that from that game. Um, just because, for a long running game, I would rather have people have more official stuff. Lost Mines of Phandelver is going to end at level 5, and then that's it. So, if people have something that's more powerful, that's fine. But for a game that may run, for a year or whatever, like I didn't want. I would prefer that they had official subclasses instead, like Delicious in Dungeon Ranger. But anyway, in that party, one of the players is a sorcerer and wanted Divine Soul, which is going to be an official subclass anyway. One of them, but I have it figured out in case if, like, what I would do with it. One of them wanted Arcane Archer. So I think the Arcane Archer that I devised is way cooler than the 5th edition one. Um, you still get the arcane shots, but you get a number of arcane shots equal to your prime modifier. I believe it was combat mastery. Combat mastery, yeah, equal to your combat mastery. But that means, like as you level up, you automatically are learning more arcane shots. Although I know Coach doesn't actually like those kind of abilities, so I don't think that kind of an ability isn't going to make it. Um, I kind of get it because like if you pick it up at like 15th level and like you have you just picked it up but you have all this like the ability of like a 15th level person with it, maybe too much, but I don't know. I've always liked actually the bonus, like proficiency bonus times per day stuff, and that because I think it provides you scaling that's not tied to levels in a class.
I think that's a good size.
Yeah, I agree. I agree.
Okay, I'm gonna let that dry a little bit more
Okay.
before I clip off the top.
Um, but another big thing with DC 20 is that you don't need to limit the number of arcane shots like in 5th edition. So I don't remember exactly what the mechanics were for it. I think it was maybe it's like you can spend a stamina when you make an attack with a bow, and you can add an arcane shot to it. But stamina is limited, and I didn't think in general that the arcane shots were that much more powerful than the other things.
All right, maybe that blue thing is worth it. Oh. Yeah.
Okay, like suction to the bottom.
Yeah.
Um,
Just need to make it flat. We'll lift the sides a little bit more.
I know one of the players in that game wanted a Shadow Assassin from 4th edition. So I looked at that for inspiration and did my best coming up with the features from that subclass for make it work in DC 20. And who's the other one? Oh, Narina. She didn't tell me yet. Narina did not tell me you want this back.
No, I want the other one back. I'm hoping to get that onto a board.
Narina did not tell me what they want to play. They're a rogue. I think maybe Arcane Trickster, because they picked up some magic already from the channel.
Do you have a board over there? Like one of the boards for the large trees? Dice cup.
Is this okay?
Perfect. So we buy sheetrock here, but not for walls, obviously. Okay. Cool. Cool. That I'll put I bought tiny trash bags. I'll put a bag over that tonight. And tomorrow I'll come back out and I will
Off the mind that all TRPG systems are just a blueprint. You should mostly follow it, but good additions benefits are allowed. Yeah, absolutely.
Where'd that come from?
Kyle. That's his that's his thought process.
Sorry.
So
Blind as a bat.
I made anyway like a lot of subclasses, but it was only the ones that people wanted to play. When I ran the Pathfinder Beginner Box last time for OnStar playing, I actually had only two players. So I started them at level 2 and then leveled them to 3 instead of running at levels 1 and 2.
Kyle, what do you want to see me throw?
Yeah, let Allie know what you want, and she'll try to make it.
And if anyone else is in chat, what do you want to see thrown? I have 2 blobs left.
The one guy, he wanted to play a giant barbarian, so I converted the giant barbarian subclass for him. And the other one wanted a paladin spellblade, so essentially for that I just looked at the old paladin class, and I took the things that the spellblade was missing from the paladin class and amplified it so that I gave them advantage on their acolyte checks because they should be better at acolytes than anybody else, and I gave them the old divine smite where they could spend mana to smite as well, which they can kind of do now anyway, but because they can transfer their mana into stamina. I love that you showcase your hobby life beyond just TTRPG. It lets us get to know you two better. And to think that at some point people would actually be that interested in us beyond just running games. But
I actually follow someone on Twitch that throws, and she throws mugs. She's amazing.
A dice tower is a suggestion.
Ooh. Okay, gotta think about this for a second.
You probably have to throw it and then modify it later.
Yeah. So what I'm thinking is, if I throw it,
You'd have to like
and then
cut
I
it.
put holes in it to put sticks in,
Yeah. To.
and then smudge up the sticks afterwards.
Mhm.
Or I could put clay sticks in later. And oh my god, I love it. All right, here we go.
Yeah, and you'd have to cut a hole in the bottom for it to come out of.
Yep.
All right, dice tower coming up.
I mean, tonight it's just going to be like a wonky cylinder, but
You'll have to come back for part two.
yeah, follow along because this is going to be 6 parts for a dice tower. I think this is going to be 6 parts. Oh.
Throws tower and cut out hole at the bottom.
Oh, I'm still fast.
Yeah, so other things that people have wanted that I've converted, um, like spells that people wanted or needed, restoration. So instead of doing like lesser restoration and greater restoration, I actually made a restoration that could be a cantrip because at the base level it only removes simple things like bleeding, but all the way up through. Actually, I went beyond greater restoration. I think to like major restoration or something. Um, and it all depends on how much mana you pour into it. You know, obviously up to mana spend limit, which I think you know. I understand mana spend limit 100%, but I feel like the thing in DC 20 that I've had the most controversy from players over is mana spend limit.
It goes so quick. And I
Oh,
don't know why.
not the mana going quick, but it does. I'm
Wait a
talking the
minute.
mana spend limit.
Oh, okay. Oh.
But mana does go quick. Sorry, you can talk about mana going quick.
No, it makes no sense that it goes quickly because I'm used to D&D where you get like 2 spells at level 1.
Right, you have 6 mana and it goes so quick.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Like, it makes no sense.
I think it's because of all your abilities that use mana. It's not just spells. But the mana spend limit. I mean, it makes so much sense to me.
Yeah.
It's the exact same as if you were casting spells with spell slots. You can't cast a second level spell until you're level 3. You can't cast a third level spell until you're level 5. Like, I don't understand why the mana spend limit is so hard for people to understand that, like, when you're level 1, you can only spend 1 mana on a spell. I guess it's because they're not used to dealing with a pooled resource. Um, but, I mean, to me, it makes perfect sense. Like, you shouldn't be able to physically pour channel more mana through you than like whatever the maximum is. Fair heal cantrip. What about granting a ring help to stabilize PC on death's door?
Well, there's closed wounds.
Yeah, there's closed wounds. That does require somebody spending a rest point. Um, and I would have thought that closed wounds would have stabilized, but it's not. Shoot, what's the 5th edition spell that does stabilize? Anyway, it's not that spell. Whatever spell that is. I can't remember it off the top of my head.
I can't either. That's crazy. I always take it.
Uh, I don't. I don't always take it.
I do. If I'm a cleric, yeah.
Yeah, I don't always take it.
Although I play a lot of support because I play a lot of, if we don't have 4 players, then I jump in. Um, and my goal is to keep everybody alive.
Um, man, I can't believe I can't think of what it is. And a bard can give a help diet range. So if it was like a medicine check to stabilize, and that's where you are talking about adding a ranged help, bards can do that because they can, through font of inspiration, give help on anything.
This might be my last piece.
Yeah, well, it is 8:40, so
Okay.
it's an hour and a half so far. Death's Door is another thing that people don't understand because they think that they're unconscious at zero, which makes sense because that's how it is in every other system. Um, but I did actually learn something today. I learned that at Death's Door, it's not that you only have one action point, but you can only spend one action point. So if you heal, you don't have to actually wait until the end of your turn to get your action points back. If you heal, you would have um, your remaining action points. Fair. I was just thinking for the bleed curing cantrip. Oh, restoration. Yeah. So closed wounds, I think, is deceiving because it's actually more of a healing cantrip than it is a stabilizing cantrip. Because to stabilize somebody, it would be more in line with if I could think, death clerics are good with it in fifth edition. What is you know what? I have to look it up. I have to look it up now because
Yeah, I know it's bothering me too.
uh, I thought it was death clerics got it. No,
Any cleric gets it.
grave domain, not death domain. Death domain is the dumb one from the Dungeon Master's Guide.
The dumb one.
It is. It's the dumb one. Yeah. Death domain is not. Spare the dying.
Spare the dying. That's it.
So yeah, spare the dying should be in DC 20, and it should stabilize. Because closed wounds, it is legit healing. It's just they have to spend a rest point on it, and it's a cantrip, and it's a cantrip because they can spend a limited resource. So it's not unlimited cantrip healing. Thank you. I didn't read the Death Door AP reduction. So I just learned that today too. Thank you. Yeah, and I was like in the middle of running a game, and I had dropped Allie actually to Death's Door, and it was her turn, and she only had the one action point. I said because she was healed on the previous player's turn, but um, I would have just ruled it and run with as I knew it, the way that I've always run it. But one of the players popped it into Discord, and then I read it, and I was like, okay, yeah, yeah. It doesn't say that you only have one action point, just that you can only spend one action point.
All right, we're gonna try one more pull on this, guys. Let's see what happens. I'm a little nervous about this pull. We're doing it nice and slow this time. Just one more pull. You need to wait a full rotation before you move your hands up at all. so that you get a full pole and everything stays the same width.
So I am going to have to step away soon, so I don't know if
Okay, I still need to cut that. And
okay. My stomach's getting to me. I need to
okay, how long are you gonna be?
that's probably not too long, but
Okay. I'll try to entertain people while you're gone.
oh, Allie, you got this.
I'm never as entertaining as you are. Go ahead. I'll be here. I'm gonna finish this one.
You also have pumpkin pie waiting for you.
I do. Mom made a pumpkin pie earlier today. I want this more cylindrical. I feel like I've made a really nice mug. I'm not gonna lie. Like if I
Yeah.
threw a handle on this, I'd be really happy with it.
Kyle's cooking too.
What is Kyle cooking?
I don't know, what is Kyle cooking? So I guess something else. I'm gonna be running the hunted at a local convention. Don't cut yourself short. You're entertaining too.
No.
Yeah, so I'm going to be running the hunted at a local gaming convention in November. So I'm excited for that to share DC 20, and I've run the hunted over 30 times, so I could probably run it backwards and forwards, awake or asleep. But
Yeah, I won't be able to make it to that convention.
Hmm.
Maybe Sunday. Play in the mud. If you're on Twitch, watch a woman called Play in the Mud. She's awesome.
steamed cauliflower, broccoli, fried rice, and chicken cordon bleu. Sounds good.
Does sound good. Um, she throws mugs for like Gen Con and stuff. She does all the geeky conventions. And she makes this mimic mug that is awesome and I would love to buy. How am I doing?
Good.
Ha! Success! So I need something that's called a bump out. And it's on my list for the next time I go down to the ceramic supply. And it literally, all it does is instead of you putting your hand inside the piece, you put this thing inside the piece. Because my hand no longer fits inside here. But okay.
Woman play in the mud on Twitch. You say, oh my.
Yeah. I don't know her name, and I know that sounded super sexual, but I swear it's not. Oh, I just kicked the camera.
Melanie says, that is so cool. Oh my God, I was just talking to someone about pottery the other day.
is so much fun. It's relaxing, is really what it is. Okay, this is going to be the base to the dice tower. A lot of the other stuff is going to be hand built to go on this. But for the moment, we're calling this part of it done. I want to do some kind of texture on the outside of it. All right, I'm going to cut that dice tray. Let's get rid of some of this water. Also, hi Melanie! I'm looking forward to you coming up.
I don't know if she's in there still. There was a text message, but
Okay, fine. My cousin comes up to help me every year. Oh, yeah, I'm dying. Dying! Maybe tomorrow Gary will raise this for me. Okay. Yeah. Okay. I need a place to put this. That can actually go away. We are both sitting on short chairs tonight. Which really sucks because Gary has a nice chair that's right over there. I've just blocked it off. Hey, other watcher, please chat too. Let's get right. Anybody that's watching, join in. Don't be shy. Oh. All right, so that piece is going to be hunter green with light brown on the inside. I can do that. I lost my piece. Okay. All right. Let's do a lift and see how we got. Nope, too fast. Too fast. Okay. No. I think. Yeah, this dice tray is going to have to wait till tomorrow. That needs to dry a whole lot more before I can think about working on this piece. That's okay. All right, I wanted to do one more lift on that chip bowl, and then I think I'm done for the evening, hon.
okay.
Ah! Guys, don't use tools when they're not supposed to be used for. You'll break them, and then you'll be pissed at yourself. I need to get the plastic bags out of the car that I bought yesterday. Can I? Okay. Yeah, this is wibbly. I'll try to fix it tomorrow. If I can't, I will. Can I have the chip bowl?
This.
Yep. If I can't fix the dice tray tomorrow, then I will do another one.
I haven't gotten in my start playing game live yet. Oh, good luck with that, Kyle. Going to be posting his game on Start Playing next week.
Nice.
I've gotten pretty good at posting stuff on there. It doesn't take too long to get approved. Once you do put it on, it's like
Within 24 hours.
yeah, about that. Yeah. Would you be willing on doing a session in my game for free to get additional DMs review before I post it live? Sure. You don't even. I mean, I guess if you do run it through Start Playing, your advantage to that is you can get us as a review.
Yeah, the reviews count more.
But for that, you probably want to put it up paid, and then just make us free afterwards. Because then it's still a paid game, even though we don't pay.
Right.
But yeah, depending on the day of the week, I would love to test it. Currently, tomorrow Ali runs a game in the evening, and then I play in a game in the evening. Yeah, I mean, we could also just play in it without going through Start Playing. But if you want a review from us, you'd have to put it on Start Playing, and we would have to join. But then also, if it's a free game on Start Playing, the reviews don't count as much as if it's a paid game. So if it's a paid game and then you change our price to $0, then you would get.
Why did I touch this? It was so good before.
2 reviews. Which was that, the chip bowl or the dice tray? Well, I mean, it looks kind of cool. It looks like a wavy chip. Yeah, it depends. If you just want the input, then it's easier to not go through Start Playing. But if you want a review to start your pro journey, that would be a way.
Man,
It's a floppy taco.
that was a really good bowl that I just fucked up.
Yeah, it happens. I would say it can only break once, but that's not true because you can bucket it and do it again. It's a custom piece now. That's what Kyle says. It's a custom piece now. Dinner plate. Yeah, so it just depends when is the issue because tomorrow Ali runs a game tomorrow night very late our time. I play in a game. Monday night we have a game to run on Start Playing. Tuesday I run a game for a group of friends. Wednesday I run a paid game on Start Playing. Thursday currently we're free. Friday Friday I have my Halloween game. Saturday night you're free because you're not running your game, Allie. So Saturday night. For your players who want to throw dice across the table. Yeah, nice recovery, I think. So Kyle, you know how to get a hold of me or us. You're part of the Discord, so you could private message me or Allie, and try to work at a time.
Oh, come on. Split. It's just too wet now.
Tentatively, next Saturday could work for us. Yes. Next Saturday, the only thing that I have is a game Tuesday afternoon. My start playing Lost Mines of Fandover, the first one that I was telling you about. That's over at 5 p.m. Eastern, and then we would have dinner, and then after that, uh, we'd be free. Unless this is the time that like I do the thing that you do, where like
You're triple
I've
booking
I've
yourself.
forgotten something, but I don't have any other games that night because this week would have been my home game, and I canceled that one this week because one of the players was going to miss, and that is cool.
Now I'm just playing. Now this isn't coming back. This is so wet. But
The way that you spun it up from nothing, that could be like an ashtray at this point.
oh my god, I saw something online that I never knew before, and I feel really stupid for not. Oh, I still have another ball. Um, that I never knew before. You buy a dollar store ashtray, and you use it as a paintbrush holder.
Mm. Messaging from a Discord allow me to get a little bit set up. Cool, cool. Another thing she mentioned VTT. I know Foundry has like the better setup for DC-20. However, I have to shout out Narina from our Monday night game, who put a lot of work into modifying the Roll20 character sheet that somebody else had started, and he added so much functionality to the Roll20 sheet to where now any roll that you make on the sheet, you can add advantage, multiple levels of advantage or disadvantage. If it's an attack, you can add flanking. Um, he did a lot of work on that sheet. It it will send your action point expenditure to your to one of the token bars. He added toggles for guard weapons, multiple guard weapons for shields, rolling initiative from the sheet.
We're trying for another chip bowl, or maybe we're trying to. I don't know. Dice tray or chip bowl.
Chip ball.
Okay.
Nice. Well, excited to see your game. So if I were going to stream the Halloween game on YouTube, um, is that something that you would be interested in, Kyle? I don't know how you feel about
No!
being on camera.
I think I'm done for the evening. All right. Did I get one good thing? I got a dice cup. Gosh darn it, I'm so pissed at myself for fucking up that chip bowl. That thing was perfect.
Yeah.
I got greedy. I wanted one more good pull on that thing. Well, I think this bucket's done too. But that's okay, because my one bucket over there is ready to be dried out, which I actually wanted to show that tonight, which I'll do. Okay. Get up and get it. Okay. Gary, can you take that bucket over there? And then there's two buckets over there. One of them is drier than the other one. Just be careful if you shake them.
Okay.
One of them shakes and has water in it.
Can we clean this up, or because it's going to be harder? Maybe I can get around. Just tight space, not a lot of room to work.
Yeah.
And, I don't want to drop that on anything.
Mm-hmm. My legs are shaking.
We really need to
clean out the garage.
Yeah, before we do this again.
Oh man, I was gonna do it again tomorrow. All right, so
There's two over here. I don't know. This is
Yeah.
the card. Is that the one you want?
Yep. Okay. Thank you. So. Can you hold that?
Reach.
The pouring table. Okay. I'm done with that. Clean hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you watching for?
I mean, I'm not wet. I'm gonna start the process of being able to wedge. So, I bought this off of Amazon. Just a wedging board, they call it. It's pretty much some wood. Don't really know what exactly it's made out of. But you saw my bucket earlier. It's full. This one is not full. I don't know if I'm on camera or not. Okay. But see, it's no longer like moving. So you just take this. Can you tell if I'm on camera? Or at least my board's on camera?
I don't know because you're like way ahead of what's. You're not actually over there yet.
Okay. So, I just took what was in that bowl.
Just remember that we learn more from failure, not success. Don't worry. This is just a chapter of your growth.
That's fair. And you know what? It's kind of like the incarnate thing. Like, you know what? Come watch me fail. Because if I inspire one person to try something that, like, they didn't think they'd be good at, like, dude, go for it. Like, trust me, we all start somewhere.
Yeah, you should be on camera.
Cool.
Again, it's just.
So, I took that thing of clay that dried out, and I just smoothed it around on my board. And that's going to sit there overnight. And maybe it'll be ready tomorrow. Maybe it'll be ready in 2 days. But tomorrow I'll come down here and I'll take a putty knife and I'll smush it around again. And eventually it'll be hard enough that I'll be able to try with it again. But for the moment, it can just sit there. And this board will suck up some of the water and the air will suck up some of the water. And now I have a clean bucket again. And it's kind of been interesting because I typically have filled a bucket every time I empty a bucket. So, yeah. But I think I'm done for the evening.
So if it was liquid like that other bucket, could you pour it in a mold?
If it got mixed up real good, yeah.
And it would be the same. It would do the same as.
Not. So the slip that we buy has a lot more silicate in it, so it stays liquid. If we just put that into here, it would dry up over the course of a day or two.
Yeah, but in the mold, it would crack, right? Because the mold would wick away too much moisture too quick.
Possibly. I don't really know exactly.
I just know that the mold wicks the moisture the same as that board is going to.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yep. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I have no idea if I'm on camera, but thank you guys so much for watching. And maybe I'll be back tomorrow if I can convince Gary to do this again with me and that I'm not completely insane. We'll see. Oh, here, wait.
I remind you that tomorrow you're running a game.
I am running a game tomorrow, but that's later. But anyway, so this is why Gary thinks that I'm insane for doing this. And really, he's right. So we have all of our tree molds that we still need to pour for them all. Oh, look, there's stuff for them all. Oh, look, there's stuff for them all. Oh, look, there's more stuff for them all. And 100,000 ornaments that we still need to do. And more ornaments. And racks for the mall and the shows that we haven't sorted yet. So,
Yeah.
we need to do that. That we set up in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We need to do that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I may be back tomorrow just for a short time to fix everything that I've started on today, but we'll see. Have a great night!